Hey everybody, this is Jess with the third mini project, and as you can see, I did the original composition this go around. So I want to speak on a few things I learned in the software, give you a few program notes, and then we'll give the piece a listen. So the first thing I learned was how to deal with crescendos and decrescendos. Originally when I put them in here, they did nothing, they were just for looks. Then I kind of thought they are a very expressive dynamic, and it's pretty unique to the individual or the ensemble playing. So maybe they're attached to some sort of numerical value, just like everything else in the program. And sure enough, if you go to the inspector, there is a setting for velocity change. And so that directly correlates, if I have a crescendo in here, that the program knows that my 20 is a grow. And if I had a decrescendo in here, that 20 would be a decay. The second thing I learned was how to deal with retardandos and accelerandos. And I'm not sure if there is something in the program. I never did find it. But what I did was downloaded a plugin. So once you select the measures that you want to be affected, you just, for this particular plugin, I've already got it in my manager, you put in the proper staff text, the starting BPM, and what you want to arrive to. Once you hit apply, it puts in all these, basically it just looks like a mess, right? But once you download the pieces of PDF, those disappear. It's just system text to let you know that each of these notes has been assigned a unique tempo, so that way once you start, each note progressively gets slower and slower at a set, set interval of tempos, so that way you can arrive to, in this case, 60 for my particular piece. And then last but not least, I wanted a grand pause after this measure, and I couldn't find it until I realized that I was in this basic editing, which, as you can see, my palette changed over here. So basic editing gives you the necessities, but once I realized I needed to be in the advanced editing, then all of a sudden breaths and pauses came up, and voila, I could put that in there. Now, personally, I do think that's a design flaw because you can personalize your palette. So the things that you see that you have never used, you can take away. You can't add what's not there. So I think, I'm not really sure why MuseScore did what they did, but I do think that's a design flaw on their part. And then finally, a few program notes. So as you saw, my piece is titled Dissension. And if you Google dissension, the definition is, and I quote, disagreement that leads to discord. So when I started composing, I wanted something kind of dark, and then maybe a key change, and then something light and beautiful. And a little disclaimer, this is the first go of composition that I've really had. So I got to going, and my dark entrance was pretty good, and I did get my key change, and then all of a sudden I kind of realized that I was decent at getting the woodwinds together, but as soon as I added the brass, it kind of fell apart, and vice versa. And so this piece is kind of a fight between the brass and the woodwinds, and as you can see here, they grow, and we get a big discord, a big dissonant chord. And the fight is, oh, okay, we've come to the climax. And as we get going, each part slowly trickles back in. And then as we get on and we get going and everything's back in, the ensemble kind of realizes, hey, we need everybody to arrive to this beautiful chord, to this beautiful cadence at the end. It takes an entire ensemble to make a piece. And so that's kind of the background behind how this piece got created. And without further ado, we will take a listen to Dissension.